Welcome to How Now, the podcast where we talk about how to live in the now. And here's your host, Kim Martin Raymond.
Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. I am your host, Kim Martin Raymond. I'm a minister, spiritual life coach, author, and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And welcome to this edition of the show. We are so happy to have you. And if this is your first time joining us on the How Now podcast, welcome. You are now part of the How Now podcast family. So go over to www.hownowpodcast.com. Make sure that you pick your favorite platform for your podcast and go on there, like, share, follow, and be kept informed of when our show is going to be airing, which is every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Then you can also click on the banner that's located towards the bottom of the page, and it will take you to the How Now YouTube channel where you can watch some of our shows in review. So again, that is www.hownowpodcast.com, and we look forward to your liking, following, and sharing us as we find out what is happening in this now. Okay, so it's time to get into tonight's show, and we are going to be talking about the sugar freedom method. Okay, there are so many of us that have an addiction to sugar. There are so many of us that are looking to do different things in our wellness journey, and sometimes sugar can be, a big proponent that kind of deters us from staying on that path. And I've shared my wellness journey with you all, and some of the accomplishments that I've made with being able to come off of my diabetes medication has been exciting. But we're going to talk about the sugar freedom method. And so I have a lovely guest here who is going to help us to dive into this topic. And as is customary with the How Now podcast, I'm going to have my guest to introduce herself at this time.
I love it.
Hi.
I love that we just met, and I feel like we were saying we know each other. So I will just briefly say who I am. I am Jenn Edden. I am the founder of the Sugar Freedom Method. I am 47, 3 kids. I have run my health coaching business for 19 years.
Awesome.
So I was a kid when I started this. I am a recovering sugar addict, about 2 decades. I come from a family history of bipolar, depression, anxiety, mental illness. So I am no stranger to addiction that runs rampant in my family, and hence founder of the Sugar Freedom Method. I literally created this 5-step protocol probably to save my own life looking back, and that of my now children who are 9, 12, and 14, because anyone who knows, once you're on this stuff, we still have it, but it is definitely a socially acceptable legalized drug. And until I figured it out, I had my own illnesses, weight struggles, near ulcer, not being able to sleep, all sorts of gut stuff, near ulcer. So I am no stranger to sugar. And now I have a team. It's an all-woman team that helps me help other women, 40s to 60s, who their bodies are doing something and they're like, hey, I was good 20. I might even been okay 30. What's going on 40s, 50s, and 60s? Because it ain't always just menopause. So anyway, thank you for having me. And that's my intro.
Oh, absolutely. It was wonderful to have you here and to be talking about this topic, because so many people are on a wellness journey, and sugar is a big proponent of it. You hear people that say, this sugar is good for you, this is bad for you, this is it. There are so many different things out there, and there are people who just don't know how to go through the weeds and figure it all out. And just like you said, that target audience of women 40 to 60 who are going through menopause and going through changes in their bodies. It is a challenge, and it is just something that we have to to deal with and try to figure out, okay, well, what is it, and what is my problem, and where do I even begin? So let's start out at the beginning. Let's start out, everything with the how now is talking about, right at the time of the pandemic. So prior to the pandemic, in your business, what were you doing? You were doing, or what were your clients looking like then? Put it that way.
Well, that's the thing. So I'll say busy female professionals struggling with the typical overworked, over busy, too much on their plate, can control pretty much everything else in their life, bless lives. But what's going on? What's the body doing? Why am I not sleeping anymore? Why is my typical exercise routine, while it might not be consistent, it would always at least keep my weight okay? Why can't I zipper my pants anymore? Why do I wake up and my hands hurt? And then the pandemic hit, and whatever we had going on became 10 times that, because we added the stress, right? And the fear and the losing of the jobs. And now it wasn't your schedules, it was high cortisol all the time. And so it became something different we had to look at. But it was amazing, because even though the schedules might have changed, the bodies still didn't change. So women said, well, what the heck? Because now I'm not as busy. What is it? And so we had to start talking about inflammation and addiction. Like, we had to go there. And that is what the method is, by the way. Anti-addiction, anti-inflammation. So,
and that's huge, because just like you're saying, you hear a lot of people talking about, oh, well, I've gained COVID weight, and because I just started eating, my eating got out of control. I was at home, and sitting at home, I got bored, and I just started eating more, and the stresses, like you said, of losing jobs and things like that.
Being home with your families, I get that a lot. I worked a lot because I didn't want to, right? Like, deal with whatever's going on. And now it's like, the spouse is there, the kids are there, and whatever, for lack of a better way to say it, demons or dark was in your closet. Well, that'd be coming out.
That's right.
And so you really had to start taking a look at your whole life, what you like, what you don't like. Do you like your career? How much were you traveling? Do you want to do that anymore? And so people really started to have to take a look at, I call it module 3 of the method. They had to start tuning into themselves.
That's right.
And not keep running away from it. Because COVID is, I think you'll agree, it really made us slow down and take a look.
Absolutely.
At what are our priorities? What do we value? What am I doing with my life? Because everything was shut down, And so that's where the weight came on for a lot of people. I flew through it, but I do this for a living. Others, it got the best of them, the stress.
Right. So you saw an influx in your number of clients, and and the stressors that they were coming in with. And I guess the question is, how are they coming to you? Were they saying, I need help controlling a sugar addiction? Or did they say, I think I have a sugar addiction? When they come to you, how do they come to you?
Well, now women only come if they know that sugar is like a socially acceptable legalized drug, and that sugar is an addiction, and that it's not their fault. They don't have the tools. And I always say, the way if someone, God forbid, but it happens, a drug addiction, right? We have this, or alcohol, it's real, right? You have to actually go into rehab, and it's acceptable, right? You wouldn't smoke or do drugs around someone. Well, I don't do drugs, but smoke around someone, you'd have respect.
Right.
But around sugar, it's like, oh, you'll be okay tomorrow. Here's a cookie. I mean, this is real, and so I found there was like an awakening, because people had more time on their hands, and they were like, I think I have a problem, and I've got some extra time right now. I really would like to deal with this. And so I found almost an awakening through COVID. Women were waking up. They weren't so busy running around, running away from things. And they're like, can you please help me? Just learn tools and strategies to kick cravings and then manage it in your life. See, I don't believe you have to take it out unless you're a high level addict of it. But we teach you how to manage it. And so we found that like an awakening. It was refreshing, to be honest.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, to be able to say the words, because we all know you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. And so, yes, until that person is ready to admit that it's an addiction or that it's a serious problem, that's the only way that they can address it. You're absolutely right about that. I think about I've been a diabetic since 2000. And I used to sleep with jawbreakers next to my bed.
Girl.
That's how bad the sugar. I love the sugar. Candy, cookies. I can tell you all the old candies, now laters and sugar baby, sugar that every chewy gummy,
Girl,
all kinds of stuff, everything. And I thought nothing of it. And just like you said, but we've been given it for comfort. We've been given it,
somebody dies, somebody gets married.
Yes.
Heck, my kids are sick. They go to the doctor and they're like, here's a lollipop. I'm like, we have to just talk about this. My kids getting sick with it. That stuff kills your immune system. So yeah, it's
but for you to talk about it, like you said, as a legalized drug, that just goes to show the depth of how serious
it's in everything. It's in everything. And they know I'm not into conspiracy theories.
Right.
And the food industry knows
it's
an addiction. Why do you think it's in? Oh, it's in 95% of products. That's one of the things we teach is food education. Sugar has over 100 names. And while we're at it, and I respect everyone's opinions on things, but a lot of times I hear a dietitian, a nutritionist, or a doctor, people promote these shakes or take this or this detox thing. And then I read the ingredients and I'm like, oh dear God. Oh my God, there's sugar in the detox.
Right.
There's sugar in that bar that celebrity just said, you want to look like me, like do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Right. And so we're hooking the mind. You hook the mind through dopamine hits. And so we need an education. That's my job. We need an education so that we understand for ourselves what's going on. It's not our fault that we're hooked. It's our fault if we don't do anything about it after.
There you go.
But it's not our fault that you slept with jawbreakers. And I used to have, oh my God, frosting, vanilla Pillsbury frosting in my fridge in college. Vanilla, just a hit or two before bed. I'm like, I'm like, don't touch my frosting, and like 2 rows of Oreos in high school. I mean, forget it. I can go all day. I mean, I'm a recovering addict. I don't not have it now. I have it, but like I said, I had a bowl of cereal last night. One bowl, I put it on my Facebook page because it's real. But like I was done, I'm good. I'm not eating it today. That'd be box, sister. And then I'd be looking for the Twizzlers. And so I don't have that anymore. Yeah.
Right. And you see, and it's amazing because, the more you eat it, the more you crave it. And so it's just, it's insane how much we don't realize it's in there because it's disguised under a different name and we don't know that. And so again, it goes back to that education. It's only when you know better that you do better. And if you don't know, you're just walking around, listening to everybody.
Blaming yourself. Women come to us like head down. I'm like, lift your chin up.
Right.
You're in the right place if it makes sense what we're teaching. And let's do something about it. Let's get your life back. Because the truth is, an inflamed body will keep craving sugar. I don't even care about the way women come. I'm like, the weight will just come off. The weight is just inflammation. That is a byproduct when the body heals and you start putting the right nutrients in. Let me get you to sleep. We figure out your adrenals. Let me get your bowels to move again. And people don't. There's a connection between our bowels and sugar. There's a marriage. And so we just teach what wasn't taught growing up.
Yes.
And so it's a lifestyle change. Yeah, it's a lifestyle change.
Okay, so let's just dive into it a little bit. Now, they come to you, they say, hi, my name is Kim, and I'm addicted to sugar. I'm a sugar addict. So they come to you and they do that. So how does it all start? How do they begin? How does
I love that. Well, I always ask, so what are you most excited about? Because it's an investment to come. But as say you spend all this money on a vacation, you still come home to you. So what if you, and I'm going to say it, we guarantee results. It's a 6-month method. Look, we're not here for you to not get what you came for.
Right.
Our bodies are not machines, but they're predictable in how they'll heal when you follow the steps. I always ask, what are you most excited about? And it's typically, oh my gosh, that I can look at a box of something, or I can go out to dinner and not want the bread, or I can come home and not want the glass of wine on a Friday, or my pants will button and it wasn't because I killed myself working out. So usually we'll hear that. And then I'll say, okay, so it is time to take a look at what we're eating. And so we send women to module 2 of the method. It's a portal, and they'll just start learning about all the stuff in your food. They start to understand that just because it's, let's go there, a sugar alcohol that doesn't register in the bloodstream, I can't have that stuff. So you just start to learn, and you start to unlearn all the stuff they've taught us, like sugar alcohols, yes? Or God forbid, I used to be addicted to diet soda, all the sugar-free stuff. You just start to learn it's all chemicals. It actually hurts you and stores in your hips. That's why women have large hips, butts, and thighs. And we pack it on there. It's because all the chemicals that are poison, they store there. And so women start to learn, and it's addictive, and you crave it more, and it kills your metabolism. People go, ah. And so, right, we just start to unravel what's going on with your food. Yeah. And not go on some crazy detox, but just take what Kim is doing and just up level it. Better ingredients, less chemicals, and you'll be surprised that one thing alone will start to change your body and uninflame you. That alone.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I love that. It's just that, like I said, it's a process, like everything. Everything is a process. And I think what happens is we get overwhelmed when, we're doing well, and then people, oh, what did you do? And then you start rattling off the things that you do. And then some people are just like, oh, that just sounds like it's way too much. I can't do that. And then they start backing away like, oh, I can't possibly do all of that. Yes. And it's a matter of letting people know that it's a process, and we have to start slowly and not just dive in head first.
No, that hurts people. So let's talk about that. We do this 30 days called Sugar Freedom Experience, where once you deem you're ready, usually by month 2, you'll want to start going on an anti-inflammatory protocol. I wrote it. And that's when things really start to change. But you don't just do a detox or just do stuff without making sure your bowels are moving. So we have a gut protocol that you do while you start changing your diet a little. The worst thing you can do is rush anything. And I love that you said it, because one of my zones of genius, that's how we talk in the method, like to live in your zone of genius, is I take things super complicated, because everyone wants to complicate everything. Right. And I make it like ridiculously simple. So I tell women, if you don't feel lighter and that the method feels simple, fun, and easy, you're in the wrong place. Simple, fun, and easy. As we get older, life doesn't feel simple. It sure as hell doesn't feel fun, and everything feels complicated.
That's right.
And your life needs to be so busy, and you can still follow the method. That is our job. It's a lifestyle change. I got 3 kids, 14 and under. I got a husband. I got a dog. I employ 4 people. I'm the breadwinner. I look super fly at almost 50. I get it. I smile. I really do, till about 7:30. And like, I'm so tired. I'm like a cranky biatch. But till then, like, I'm generally this way. And it's because I dumbed it down. It's just so simple. There's no, I gotta eat. It's 8 o'clock, I gotta eat. Oh, I gotta make broccoli. Oh, I gotta eat this. Oh, I gotta count calories. Oh, I gotta drink, 7 glasses of water. Like, shoot me. Right. It flows with who you are, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's how I designed it, and that's why it works.
Yeah, that's why I say it has to be a lifestyle change. And like you said, it has to be something that Yeah, that is simple and something that is sustainable. That's a huge word, sustainable. It can't be something that you're just saying, oh, well, I can do this,
Chop up
and
those veggies,
yeah,
grill up that chicken
just
every
do it.
Sunday. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to chop anything on Sunday. And then what? You're off the rails? No, 'cause I don't need you food prepping on a Sunday. Really? And if you need to go through a drive-through, it's not, oh my God, it's, well, let's at least show you what you could do.
Right.
I say to do less damage.
Yeah.
Damage control.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And that's
yeah.
key. It's key to just be able to have something where I can, look at what it is I'm doing. Like you said, it needs to be simple, fun, something that I don't have to overthink about, because what happens is, what do we get? Analysis paralysis. I'm trying so hard to determine, well, can I have this? Can I have this? By the time you have that conversation with you, an hour has passed and you're like, okay, I still haven't eaten anything. I still don't know what to eat. I don't know what to do.
And you spiked your cortisol, getting so stressed out.
Yes.
And cortisol inflames the body, and all we want to eat is some chips.
Yes. Yes.
That's why, because now you're stressed, which is a real physiological thing. It's affecting your sleep that night. True story. You're eating some garbage Lay's or flipping Skittles in to calm yourself down. And then you've just tripled the damage. You see how that goes?
Yes.
So,
and that's it. I mean, so like you said, so it's a process. It's a process of identifying that we have an issue. It's a process of determining what those things are. And they're things that we're bringing into our homes, right? So a lot of it is a little bit of self-sabotage, because we are the ones who are bringing those things into our home and making them accessible. Even though, you can call now, they'll DoorDash you a piece of chocolate or anything else that you want. But a lot of it are the things that we bring into our homes ourselves, right?
Yes. And sometimes we don't know what we're bringing in. I hear this one all the time. Jen, I eat healthy. I don't know why I can't lose weight. I don't know why I feel exhausted. I eat healthy and I work out. I hear this all the time. And then I go, why don't you show me what you're eating? So a lot of times, and these are very smart women, right? Great careers, successful, amazing people, but they've been duped about, let's just say, I can't think of like a Yoplait yogurt, or I'm just thinking, I don't even eat that stuff. Right. But like, not all yogurt's the same. Not all pretzels are the same. Right. Not all, I'll say salad is pretty good. You don't really, but not all dressings are the same. You got to watch the oil and stuff. And so we don't realize that a canola oil is poison in the body. And while a safflower or a sunflower is better, really, an avocado oil to cook with, or coconut oil, if you're okay with it, does not inflame anywhere near all this other stuff. And like, they don't know. So then you're inflamed. You don't know really what you want to eat. So you just bring the Chips Ahoy in. And I don't blame you, because you're tired, you're confused. They're easy. They're right there. They're addictive. Right. And so women are confused, literally. Jen, tell me what to eat. And I say, I will not tell you what to eat, but I will teach you what will work for your body. And we just give you ideas and quick things. And an uninflamed body will eat good, healthy food. So I just teach you how to uninflame yourself. I can't say that enough. Chronic inflammation is the root cause of all disease, of all disease. Sugar is the number one, you can Google me on this, food substance, not even a food substance, that causes acidity in the body, that causes disease. And so, and messes with your taste buds. I can't tell you how many one of my friends' kids, my kids' friends come over, or they're at school, they'll be made fun of. Like, my kids didn't know what a Lunchable was. My kids don't know what half of this garbage is, and I love it. And then they'll say, wow, what was that? What's these top, I don't know these things. Yes! We're like, is that an Arizona thing? We're from New York, but we live in Flagstaff now. Right. And the kids and the people are like, you have to have these. My kids are like, I'll try one. My kids are like they gag, or someone had them try a Lunchable or a certain cookie. And because we eat cleaner versions of this stuff, my kids' taste buds they're like, they know, they go, oh, it's chemicals.
Right.
Like we had Dunkin' Donuts the other day. I did, as a sugar addiction expert, because my kids were like, we've only had that like once. I'm like, drive through. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, right now. What do you want? And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. I want you to, because I grew up on them.
Right.
I want you to know they tried them. They loved a few. We bought the 25 holes. Oh my God, it got so expensive. I'm like, 25 little munchkins are $8.50.
Right.
$2 in Brooklyn, people. All right, I just aged myself. But my point is, we bought them. I let them have some. We always talk about, well, how do you feel after?
Wow.
How do they taste? We all do it. My daughter had a headache. The other one was like, oh, my stomach. My son was like, I gotta go. He's in high school. I got a golf tournament. I know sugar makes me tired. I'm not gonna eat anymore. Do you know, true story? I threw the box out. I threw the box out yesterday. Half done. Half done. And why did I do it? Because I need my kids to self-regulate. See, in my house, we used to hide the sugar from my dad. So we don't, because he's an addict of like everything. But with us, I'm like, it's right on the counter. And so I'm teaching them to self-regulate. They told me, I don't remember which one. Listen, I keep looking at this stuff. I don't want them. They hurt my belly. But when I look, my 9-year-old said it. Could you get them off the counter? I was like, this is the sugar freedom method. You learn how to anyway, I'll be quiet there, but you learn how to self-regulate.
That's awesome. But that's exactly what people need to do. It needs to be a self-regulation, needs to be a decision, because just like you said, even in my wellness journey, every now and then, yes, I want that sugar. And then when I have it, I'm like, I really wanted this. And now I don't feel well. I don't feel, like you said, I get a headache, or you get sleepy, or you just do not feel well. So when you say that, that is true story. One thing that you said that just really alerted me is when you were talking in the beginning, and you were talking about your hands hurting. I've had that.
Hands and feet,
my fingers,
hips.
My fingers hurt. I've woken up in the morning and I'm like, why do my hands hurt? And and at first I was like, oh, is it neuropathy from my diabetes? I was like, what is that? So it's the sugar that can cause some things to happen with your
hand. It could be food dye. My 9, 12. My middle girl now knows, just because I do this for a living, right? Not everyone knows. Well, like, Kate, we noticed, and we don't do a lot of food dye, but red number, this is in everything. Right. And so she knows, she's like, oh, I had some food dye, Mom. She's just amazing. She's amazing, but she's not spectrum. We've gotten her tested. She's brilliant, like they all are. And she's highly sensitive to cane sugar and food dyes. And that girl has it. And then we're like, Kate, you're acting funny. We have a little, what do you call those bouncing trampolines?
Yes.
We gave her one because she has excess energy in the morning. So we have her do that. And then she goes to school, or she'll come home and she just needs to get out the excess energy. She's so cute. And then she's good. Well, like, just do the trampoline, because she'll get fidgety. And it's because that stuff is a drug. That stuff affects. That stuff absolutely can inflame. So many things inflame. And so you ate something, it takes, just so you know, a few days if you don't re-inflame yourself. And I always teach, please drink. And I'm not an advocate of, half your body weight in ounces of water. I'm not. I feel like the body will tell you, but when you're feeling inflamed, they say drink a gallon of water that day. I tell everyone, flush the toxins out. And if you can exercise and allow your body to sweat, you're going to sweat out the toxins. So, but it is absolutely related. And that's module 3 of the method, tuning in. Just tune in. And that's not everything, because it still is an addiction. But man, if you can tune in, it's part of the battle. God, do you really want that headache? Do you really want to feel crazy?
Exactly.
Do you really want that anxiety? It's not really yours. You get inflamed, and it inflames your mind, and then everything becomes a fire. So
yes. Just like you said, we talk about that. We talk about the foods that how often have we gone to an event and we've eaten so much, or we've gone to a barbecue and we had someone with the family, like, oh, it was a great time. Then you're like, oh, my stomach hurts. I'm so tired. And that was like, how was it fun? How was it fun if at the end of the night you're talking about how much pain you're in and how your stomach hurts and how you're sleepy and you feel like garbage?
So let's just go there quick. So module 4, I'll just say it because we're tying it in, is how to live this. And it's this piece. Oh, I've done so many things, Jen. I'm like, yeah. What happens when you leave your house? What happens when the holidays come? What happens when you have to travel for work or a vacation? Oh yeah, I fall off. Yeah, you fell off because no one taught you how to live this, how to live at a barbecue. Well, there's many things, but one is you damn straight. It is not, I just don't drink beer. I like tequila. If anything, because I come from family depression, and so I'm always mindful, tequila is an upper. And so I'll have a little tequila with club and some lime. So good. And just one once in a while. But I say it because of what you just said. People are like, oh, it's a great barbecue. Yeah, but you're in pain now and you can't button your pants. Right. And now you're constipated again. And I mean that. Right. And so women start to separate fun from eating garbage, fun from eating garbage. And fun could look like, I'll just say a salad, it doesn't have to be, but fun could be you brought your own burger, because I love burgers. Right. You brought your own stuff and you enjoyed the company, right? But you ate your own stuff, or you skipped the damn chips, or the macaroni and cheese, or the stuff, or the lapped on barbecue sauce. Like, yes, hurts us. Yes. And so, thank you. I teach my clients, how much fun was that girls' night? You came home and you binged on ice cream because you had wine and you had anxiety the next day. Was it really fun? Right. And so I go out and have fun without the damn sugar, without the wine. And anyway, is that helpful? You learn.
Yeah, because everything is so centered around food that we forget about the fun. Food is supposed to fuel our body, yes, but it's not supposed to take the place of fun, because how often have we even said, during a barbecue, go back to the barbecue again, and you say, oh my gosh, did you taste that macaroni and cheese, or did you taste that potato salad? It was nasty. And then and so you begin to think that the whole day was shot because the food wasn't good. But what about the company? Wasn't the company good?
Kim, that's module 3. Starting to take, people have a lot of fun at parties. I'm like, yeah, because you got a buzz from drinking and the dessert gave you the buzz. So what if your company, you and just now you have to, got to start looking at who you're hanging out with. Because when you take the buzz from the food and the buzz away from the drink, and you got to be with people like we are now, do you really enjoy those people? Because I teach my clients, go get a buzz and go get a high off of connecting with your friends. And if you can't connect that way, let me tell you something. You got bigger issues than the food. And let's start looking at your company. Right? Because food and fun, I'm Italian, I'm Sicilian, that's a marriage. And I can't eat the lasagna, nonna, for Easter, because I'm in pain. So you have to start separating, for those who come from a culture like mine. Yes. Food and fun, because I can't eat the stuff that was fun growing up because it hurts me. And food ain't love. People are love. I can't, because I'm like, eat my cookies. No, it hurts me, Mom. And so start to just relearn, unlearn, and relearn. Yeah.
Right. And that makes perfect sense. And I think that people have to understand that it's that it's a mindset too. It's not just the food alone. It's the whole thought process behind it. So it's not just that. Even when you talk about the sugar addiction, it goes beyond just taking that and putting it in your mouth. Like you said, it's the education, knowing what you're putting in your mouth, understanding how it affects your body, and saying, I don't want to feel pressured by people to eat something that's going to hurt me. It's a choice that I'm
loving you. So module 4, just because it's so easy to refer, live it, talks all about social pressure. That is real, and it's subtle sometimes. When my mother makes her favorite stuff, and God bless her, she knows I'm a sugar addiction. You have to try these thumbprint cookies. I'm like, Mom, you got sugar in them. Mom, there's gluten. Mom, there's flour. She's like, you
Right.
gotta, just one, Jennifer. You love me. And I'm like, oh my God, the Italian.
Right.
She's doing it right now. Like,
Right.
Mom, go read module 4. I created it just because of you. I can't do it, Mom. I want it tomorrow. I'm not going to feel good for 3 days. I don't want to eat your damn cookie.
Right. Right.
What the hell are you doing pressuring me? You eat the cookie. And so social pressure is real.
Yeah.
And I don't ever give in, ever, to social pressure. Love yourself more. And by the way, the company you keep really matters. And the
You
people
talk
that
about toxic relationships.
okay, that's right. When they love us and they're not narcissistic and not feeling guilty themselves and they don't like you, look in your own Kim fabulous self because they haven't worked on themselves like you.
Right.
You need some new friends, not
Right.
you, but in general.
Right.
Because
Right.
my friends love me and just want to support me. Good for you, girl. Fist bump. They're
Right.
not, oh, eat this because they're jealous. Like, I don't do that stuff.
Right. You
Time to upgrade.
I love that. I love that you say that because it's about relationships too. And just like you talk
course
about
it
being
is.
in toxic relationships, that's toxic too. And I mean, no, you're not going to reject your family. You're not going to throw your mom away. You're not going to do anything like that. But you're just going to make sure that you let them understand, if you love me, you'll understand that this is not
Healthy boundaries.
Yes.
Healthy
boundaries.
boundaries with people who
Yes.
do not have them. I've learned healthy boundaries. That's a process. That's also in the method. Why? Because sugar addiction is not just what you're eating. It's everything.
It's everything. Just like you say,
is.
Dada, it is
I'm so
everything.
glad we're talking today.
I love this because
Right.
it's not everything. It is that process. Everything is attached to the other
Right.
aspects of your life.
Right.
It's not just the food itself, and it's because of those
Oh.
other things that are going on that those addictions happen, and that we reach for those things, just like you said.
Well, I always say I'm more in love with my life than my food. So my food just feeds me now. And not always. Oh my God, I had the most stressful month last month. I'm like, why am I eating chips again? They're better versions. They're better versions. It's great. They're less inflammatory. But seriously, I remember, oh gosh, it had to be 2 years ago. And I literally was eating chips every single day, like half a bag.
Wow.
And I'm the founder of the method, yeah? And so I don't judge. There's no shame. There's not what's wrong with you. I was like, Jenn Edden, like, what do you need? And I got quiet and I was like, I need a vacation from my family, just so you know. And I was like, oh my God, family, I love you. I visited my best friend from college and I flew to LA and I visited my best friend Yusuf for like 4 days. I stayed in this little cottage back and I was like, the chips weren't the problem. Me not getting away and taking a break from my life and the pressure was the problem, not the chips.
Wow.
I came back, I was like, chips are gone. Amazing, right? Like it's always something bigger. We like to just blame the food.
That's it.
Something bigger.
That's it.
Food ain't the problem. Food can't talk. I mean, sugar is, but anyway, I hope that was helpful.
Huge. Now you talked about 4 steps. You said there are 5, correct?
Oh, yes. The 5th, I love that. So I love that because it's what we just said. I just didn't say it was the 5th step. It's okay. So module 1 is understanding it. So understanding your why.
Yes.
Number 2 is clarify it. Understand what's in your food.
Right.
Module 3 is tune into it. Understand your body. 4 is how to live it, right? Social. 5 is love it. It is your life. How to love your life more than food. I am addicted to feeling good. And if I'm eating stuff that doesn't make me feel good, well, I'm more addicted to loving my life than food now. So it's love it. It's a whole life coaching module. Where are we upgrading in your life, your relationships, your finances? Do you have debt? Do you have a spending issue? How's your sex life? Do you have a relationship with God?
Yeah.
Do you have a community? Do you feel alone? Do you like your physical environment where you live? Do you feel safe? Is it clean? Is it cluttered? It's all these things. And so it talks about, do you love your career? Do you wake up excited? And so it talks about how to love your life more. Because if you do not love your life more, you will never get sugar out of your diet, ever. because sugar's a drug. And so it's love it. Thank you for asking.
Oh my goodness. So you see what I'm saying? Okay, so
I
it is
know.
a process. I love that. And I love
Thanks,
the steps.
Kim.
I love that. The why, the clarifying, the tuning in, the living it, and the loving it. Those are just awesome. I mean, because it's more than, like you said, it's more than just the food. It's more than
No, if
just
anyone's selling us on that, I always just say, please run away. It's
the.
all these pieces. And then the bonus is gut health. So 6 is just, I got to fix your gut. We got to look at your adrenals. I just got to see what's going on with your schedule. And so all these other little things with it, but it's a process. I love that. It's step by step. And it don't happen overnight. You hang out with us or someone else, don't let them tell you some 6-week cleanse. They're full of it. It's 6 months and women go and they say, thank you. And they get off their antidepressants. And Gail was 62. I was like, Gail, I don't know, 62, you're on a lot of meds, you're on a lot of stuff. 50 pounds in 60 days.
Wow.
Her endocrinologist of 25 years called me. I was like, she uninflamed. We just took out the hot dog and the things and a little beer and we just changed it. And her body loved what she was doing. And it just whoop, right off.
Wow.
And so anyway, it's
now do you encourage them to track what it is that they eat so that way there's an understanding of what happened, or
look at my
just like
face
in the past?
You could, but not really. I mean, if one person says food journal, it's like, not really. If you need to, we talk about it, but like food journal, people want to gag. I know, me too. Or count your calories or a food prep on Sunday. Like no one wants to do it. So I would say no.
Yeah.
That's right. And so you're not really made to do anything. Now, if you're not seeing results, I got to tweak what you're doing.
Right.
But typically we see naturally what your body will do and your taste buds can change. And so a lot of times your taste buds do the work. You're like, oh wow, that bar I used to eat actually tastes like a chemical now. And so your body will do the work for you.
Wow.
You don't, right? Like, oh my God, I tried one of those little munchkins. We were having so much fun laughing. I haven't had one in, who knows, decades. Right. Like, oh, let me try that one. I would take just a bite. I was like, oh my God, what is I have to eat these? And it was amazing. All chemicals to me. I was spitting it out in a napkin, but it was fun with the kids. I was like, oh God, what was that one? Oh, and I go, can you guys feel the residue? They're like, we do. Like a residue on your tongue.
Like a film or something. Yeah.
And so anyway, it was super fun. It was just fun. Like, yeah, anyway.
So that's good. I mean, those are good. These are good things to know. These are good tips to have. And it's important for us to start somewhere. Now, is there something, now, when we talk about sugar addiction, if there's somebody out there who is thinking, well, I'm not sure if I have a sugar addiction, what are some of the symptoms or some of the things that that may raise a red flag that may say, oh, okay, you might want to check into it?
I love that. I literally just filmed a YouTube video about this to go out in like 2 weeks. Is sugar addiction real? So I'll just tell you. Well, first of all, I have a YouTube channel. So if you ever have questions, someone could look. I mean, I'm Jenn Edden everywhere. So I have a lot of fun. These, questions answered in my little 3-minute clips. But I bring it up because if you think of taking it out, do you get an emotional reaction? Do you feel sad? Do you feel down? If I tell someone, listen, don't eat broccoli or potatoes this week or some tomatoes, like people are like, oh, all right, I'll try something different. Hey, don't eat your chips this week or skip that glass of wine on Friday, or that chocolate you love, why don't you take it out? And you go, oh,
right,
because you're having an emotional reaction to it. When people say, I love blank, I don't know about you, but I like avocado. I do kind of like it with eggs.
Right.
But I don't love it. I love pizza.
Right.
Ben and Jerry's ice cream. Like, you can even see like, oh my God.
Right.
And so that's typically how you know.
If
it comes out, you have an emotional charge to it. It's an emotional charge. Yeah, there's a problem there.
Wow.
And your mood drops. You'll find, my daughter has something, the little one. We'll go, oh, you get cranky when you don't have it. And then when you have it, we got to work on that. That's Sydney, the 9-year. She knows. We talk about it.
Right. And that's good.
Helpful.
Yeah, because it's a matter of knowing yourself. And that's where you really have to know thyself. You have to really get in tune with who
Kim,
you
that's
are.
my chapter 1 of my book,
Right.
Woman Unleashed. Know thyself, know thy worth. I have it. I'll just show you.
Yes, Woman Unleashed. I
It
actually have
is.
a copy.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Kim, and that's chapter 1. I wrote it 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Know thyself, know thy worth. No one can dupe you. You just can know you. Anyway, I don't want to say anymore, but that's enough. Know thyself, know thy worth.
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
And talking about all this, like I said, because I know that we're coming to the end of the show, but we want to give people an opportunity to know how they can get in contact with you so they can learn about the program, so they can learn about your publications. You said that you're Jenn Edden at just about everything. So tell us the website.
I am. Oh, thank you. My website is JE Coaching, to keep it short, jecoaching.com. But my LinkedIn, my Facebook, please friend me. Or if you want to message me, hey, I met you through, Kim's podcast and on the show. I would love it. I've got a free community on Facebook, Woman Unleashed Community. There's women that come every week for that. My newsletter, but if you go through my website, I do have a master class on the actual steps of the method, and that's so helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
But you can always message me or just really go to it, right? And Instagram is Jenn Edden. I keep it really simple. Then you could find me and follow me that way. My YouTube channel, you want to subscribe, but my website will connect to you.
Will connect you to that.
It will, and to the masterclass or a free download of my book. And then you'll be in my newsletter community. I write twice a week. So
wonderful. Yeah. So that's wonderful. So you said you can
thank you.
Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn under Jenn Edden, or you can go to your website at jecoaching.com and you'll be able to sign up for the masterclass if you're interested, or to get a free download of
my book,
Women Unleashed. All right, we love that. Now, one thing that I always ask my guests before we go, and I ask my guests each week, is what are you doing to live in the now? Everyone is trying to figure out how to cope, how to create their own peaceful existence. But I always like to give them an opportunity to see what are some things that my guests are doing to live in this space.
Such I always say first answer, right answer. So when I close my eyes, what came to mind is when a kid is talking to me, it's phone down, it's everything down, it's look him in the eye, and I am present. My husband's talking, like right here, the present, not to sound cheesy, really is the present.
Yes.
And so, like, it's so easy to be distracted. Phone, I'm like, oh, Sydney, phone down. Yes, honey. We did a group hug this morning. Me, Caitlin, Sydney, Joe, and our rescue puppy. And like, I was like, oh my God, we're hugging. It's 8 o'clock. It was so, but I was present, and we did a group hug right in the laundry room. It was so sweet, but present, right? So many times we're somewhere else. Oh, I got to get to the gym. Oh, I got to talk to that client. I was like, group hug, present.
Right.
Present.
Right. It's a matter of being present. That's what How Now is all about. It's about living in the now. It's about living in the present. Thanks, the present is a gift. That's why it's called a present. It's a gift. So we have to be willing to do that. We have to be willing to do that. And so, as I say to my guests, and I'm going to extend this to you as well, you're always welcome to come back on the show and talk more about your masterclass, to talk more about the programs that you're doing and about your book, and how we can go about empowering one another, because that's what it's all about. That's how we're living in this now. And so this now changes. This is how we're living right now. 2 weeks, a month from now, a couple of hours from now, things may be different. So you are always welcome to come back and share and know that you're a part of the How Now family as well. So I thank you for taking time out to talk about this, to talk about the process, to talk about the importance of realizing it's not just the sugar itself, it's the things surrounding it. And what are we doing to position ourselves so that we can walk away from it and begin to see the toxicity in it for what it is, and to be able to reject it for what it is and be able to live a healthier lifestyle. So I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to be here with us. We appreciate that. And we will share your contact information on the show and let people know how they can get in contact with you. And we'll look forward to moving forward in this now.
Thank you for
So again,
having me.
thanks so much. Do you have any other final words for our guests before we go? Any parting words for them?
I was just thinking as you were speaking, how grateful I am that you took the time to create this platform. So thank you for allowing my voice to really be spread as far as it can through you, because I'm one person. And so thank you.
Blessings. Thank you so much. And that will do it all. That will do it, you guys, for this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And until we see you the next time, say peace.